I know you're going to tell me Manny Machado is worth more than Bryce Harper, and I'm watching him last night, and I'm like, I'll pay $350 million for that guy in my stadium, right?
Hey, bro, if you could have been here last night and you would have seen the show that man put on in this stadium, like you're saying, man, this ballpark was electric. Right? Last night, Bryce Harper put himself on the map. He needed that not only for the Nationals fans, because the Washington Nationals are kind of in a little bit of a disarray right now, but he also put himself back in the market, like you're saying, with the owners. Hey, man, this kid last night rode. Everybody was off their butts. There wasn't an empty seat in the house, man. It was absolutely electric, man. What a show he put on.
Okay, now when he broke into the league, he fought with his own teammates. He's like, listen, man, don't throw at batters who hit bombs, because I'm one of those guys. Don't do this. Has baseball come full circle on Bryce Harper, where now he's part of the club and they can accept his hair and his swag? Like, it feels like baseball now loves him, and they didn't 5 years ago.
Well, I think they definitely loved him when he first came up on the scene, because his energy and his effort was off the charts. I haven't been in the Washington Nationals locker room, so I couldn't tell you what his teammates think. But I'm telling you, man, this guy's one of the best players we have in our game. For him to be struggling on the average side of things is kind of concerning. I understand the home runs are there and the analytics say batting average isn't as important. But I'm telling you, man, our best players in the game do three things. They hit for power, they hit for average, and they drive in runs. Right now, Bryce is driving in runs and hitting home runs, but he's not hitting for average. So when you're talking about $350 to $400 million, the biggest contract baseball will ever offer above Giancarlo's $325, I want my guy to hit for average as well. But on base is a huge thing for me. It always has been.
Okay, but let me throw this out to defend Bryce Harper and home run hitters. Analytics have changed basketball. When you and I were kids growing up, if you didn't have a center, you couldn't win a title. Now, centers, mostly European guys who can shoot. I mean, you can't have a big who can't shoot.
Of course.
Could I make the argument that with defensive shifts, ground balls are no good anymore, and that you just have to accept the fact that guys are going to hit 235, and if they can give you the bombs and the RBI, that we have to get over the average? That is 8 years ago. It just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I definitely think the shifts definitely hurt left-handed hitters a lot more than they do right-handed hitters. But you got to remember, man, everybody's playing on the same field. Everybody is dealing with shifts, not just one guy. So if everybody else has figured it out and a way to raise their batting averages in the whole nine, I think Bryce is going to have a huge second half. I feel like that home run derby last night got him in the groove. And I think that moment that him and his dad shared on the field last night, hey, having a father who I look up to as my hero as well, to be able to share that moment, it kind of gives you goosebumps because it was so amazing. Bryce had to win that home run derby. He had everybody here in the stadium on his side. I think this second half is going to be great for him. I also think it's going to be great for the Washington Nationals. And also, first-year manager Dave Martinez is hopefully going to, take those nerves off a little bit.
By the way, this is a weird stat. For the first time since 1939, the Yankees and Red Sox have the best records at the All-Star break, which doesn't even sound right, but it is. Now, we know, Mookie Betts, J.D. Martinez for the Red Sox, some stars. Aaron Judge. We got Sanchez. The Yankees have Torres, the young kid. They got a bunch of stars. Here's my question, though. Regular season's different. We've talked about this before. The postseason is different. You shrink your starting pitching staff. You shrink your bullpen. Yes. It becomes about situational hitting. Yankees, Red Sox, when you look at them now, I asked A-Rod this yesterday. Let's go now to October. Which team is built for the playoffs?
I tell you what, I think what's going to happen here at the trade deadline, I think there's going to be some moves that are made, and I think that is what is going to win the division. We're talking about two of the best teams we have in our game right now, two beasts of the East. It's crazy, though, because we might have two teams in the East that win 100 games, and that second-place team is going to end up in a one-game playoff. Could be against the Seattle Mariners, and all of a sudden you get James Paxton who's throwing 100 miles an hour on the left side. That could be a tough win. I think in general that they have holes in both lineups. Obviously, the New York Yankees, everyone talks about starting pitching. Everybody talks about bullpen help in Boston. I'm interested to see how everything goes down. Brian Cashman, Dave Dombrowski, those guys are amazing guys. They know exactly what they're doing. I always feel like I go with the back end of the bullpen. I feel like to win big games, you have to shut down good offenses. And the New York Yankees have a little bit better of a bullpen than the Boston Red Sox do. But I'm telling you, with the years that J.D. Martinez and Mookie Betts are having, I don't think anybody can get those guys out, man. I think at this point in time, man, it's it's kind of a toss-up, man. We're talking about two of the best teams in our game.
Nick Swisher, 12 baseball seasons, an All-Star, World Series champ, 09 with the Yanks. Okay, I'm watching baseball last night, and I got a clock. And that clock creates drama, like game shows. Best game shows have a clock, and it gets me all dramatic, and it creates urgency. Would it be the worst thing in the world, Nick Swisher, for all you divas in baseball, you home run guys, you take your time, you walk out of the box, you're striking. Why not put a little clock that you got to stay in the box?
Oh, man, come on, Colin. That's the only thing that separates our game from everything else. I'm telling you, I do like the clock in the home run derby because you're right. The anticipation, hey, going down, he's got 30 seconds left. He's got to hit 5 home runs, just like Bryce did last night. I think he hit 9 home runs in 9 swings, and it was absolutely electric. I think the thing in baseball, and the commissioner is trying to do a great job, is we're trying to shrink the games anyways. We're trying to shorten them at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a fan, I don't think I would want to go and watch an hour and 30-minute baseball game. I just don't think I would be able to sit in my seat. I wouldn't be able to get to experience all that stuff. What you're saying is a great point, man, and there's no doubt about it. In the minor leagues, they have the pitch clock. I just think that the Major League Baseball Players Association and the union is so strong. Obviously, you're going to have to get it by those guys before you can put it on a field like this behind me.
You know what? I don't think the time of games is that big of a deal. I'm with you. I don't care if college football is 20 minutes longer than it was a decade ago, and I still like watching Ohio State, Penn State. I don't give a rip.
And we're fine with that.
Yeah.
We're fine with that.
Here's what I worry about, though, Nick. In every other sport, hockey, baseball, football, the rules say you can't stand there, you can't stand there, you can't stand there. I don't like defensive shifts. I don't think they're authentic. Right. I think it's manipulation. I think it keeps ground balls from being hits. I would ban the defensive shift, and I would totally support baseball. You're a home run hitter. Good God, this era is actually built for guys like you. You playing right now would be perfect. You would be like Kyle Schwarber. We want guys in the air. If you ban defensive shifts, are you okay with it?
I don't know, man. I'm an analytics guy. I think, like you're saying, the analytics is starting to cross over into multiple sports, into basketball, into football as well. So I think for myself, I guess I'm a fan of the shifts because it brings more thought into the game. It brings more strategy into the game. Obviously, you hear a lot. I mean, we heard it from Scott Boras, Bryce Harper's agent, talking about the shifts have really hurt his season. Well, it's hurt a lot of guys' season. It hurt my career. It hurt guys like Jason Giambi's career. If they take the shifts away, we all want to come back. Every left-hander wants to roll the ball through the right side of the infield. It kind of takes that play out of the game. I don't know, man. I feel like the game is evolving, the world is evolving, and if you're a fan of baseball, you have to evolve too, man. We can't get stuck in the past. We have to continue to keep moving forward and use all these numbers we have because, like you're saying, man, I mean, it's almost information overload. We have numbers for everything now, and if I have an added advantage, a percentage of an advantage in the game of baseball, baby, I'm going to take that.
Swish, great seeing you. Have fun tonight. It's the only all-star game in sports worth watching. Thanks for coming on the show. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.